Wow. So you've actually had the disease for 8 long years prior to changes.
To,
So
yeah, yeah.
what
So,
happened?
yeah. This journal, throwaway journal, somehow made it to my desk, and on the cover I saw the words multiple sclerosis and blueberries, and I said, does what in the world could blueberries have to do with MS? And of course, I immediately dropped everything and read the article, and it was not a scientifically sound study that you and I would be pleased with, as you know, from a scientific objective perspective. And it wasn't that I thought eating blueberries was going to be the solution to my MS, but it was that study that for the first time, in thinking about this, a much more important question surfaced from reading that study. And that was for the first time in my life, oh my goodness, here I am, a physician, I'm an attending physician, chief of infectious diseases at the Hudson Valley VA in New York. And for the first time, I considered this question: could there be a connection between diet and disease?
It's like the light bulb goes off, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yes, it
And
does.
I think the turning point for me was Swank. Roy Swank was an American physician, was very interested. He's actually practiced in Portland, Oregon.
Hmm.
And Dr. Swank wrote an article in 1952, published in New England Journal of Medicine, that discussed this connection between saturated fat and multiple sclerosis. At least he hypothesized this based on the work he had done looking at pockets of high incidence of MS in Norway, which is a country that has very high rates of MS. That was the first article that really resonated with me. And then I just continued to look beyond Swank's work and really understand, not only in my own personal, for my own personal experience with MS, but also in helping me to understand how nutrition was playing a role in my patients, in my diabetic patients, and in clinical practice, all the diseases that I was seeing, the status post-stroke patient in the critical care unit with a pneumonia, or the demented patient in the nursing home that I was being asked to see with the cystitis or the urinary tract infection, that how all of these variables were playing a role in the development of these diseases. So I started to piece this all together and became deeply passionate about not only changing my lifestyle, but also advising my patients to similarly do the same.
Wow. So you started changing your diet accordingly.
The lifestyle that I was leading at that point, I mean, I was wearing a diaper at times. I was deeply depressed. The steroids were leading to weight gain. I was just a really unhappy young woman. And I thought to myself, if I can only have a few years of good quality of life, it's worth it to me as compared to what I was experiencing. So I decided that I was going to taper off of all of that, and I was going to adopt a whole food plant-based diet. And the reason I adopted a whole food plant-based diet was not because it was the fad diet of the day, or because it was popular, or it was hashtag trending. It was the reason I adopted a diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts, and seeds was because the overwhelming body of scientific literature pointed to a diet rich in those foods to be the ideal diet for optimal health. And it's not an MS diet. It's not a diabetes diet. It's not a cancer diet. It's a diet that we should all be engaging in to optimize our health.